Knowledge the wisdom, fams, divine understanding, born of law. You know how I got to do it, son. I have to set the record straight. I just can't let it go like that. Now, as we all know, I was in the Moorish Science Temple. I went in there after I got 120 lessons, mastered 120, and well, yeah, I never really mastered 120, but I knew and understand 120 lessons. So I went in the Moorish Science Temple. I studied a little Moorish science, you know, went through the Adab chamber, became a divine minister. Then I went on ahead and went to C.M. Bay's group, studied law with them and whatever the case may be. After I graduated from these two schools of thought, I took that mathematical equation that they had added on to my cipher and reanalyzed it and regurgitated it and did the knowledge to it. And my understanding of nationality would be more to the level of the Magna Carta granted freedom to the European masses. The Emancipation Proclamation reiterated the slaves as property, and the Municipal Civil Law Code of the United States is an incorporated political unit set up by each state of the Union based on the Roman, French, or France and England, which would take us, if we go into France, it's going to take us right back to Hades bullshit that I was building on before. If we go to England, that's going to be dealing with the North American continental shelf. And if we go into Rome, that's going to be dealing with Rome, Spain, Portugal, dealing with South America and the other things that they did. Now, if we go to Africa, we're going to show and prove that they colonized Africa. Now, based on the teachings of the Prophet Drew Ali, yeah, he did call us Moors, but I think he was more using the term as Moor being synonymous with the illegal term black, because there's really no people on the planet Earth called black, colored, Negro, or Ethiopian. That's just a terminology that we use nowadays to recognize who we are based on this English language and the bastardization of us from the European when he colonized and took us and abducted us illegally. So if you look into the Bible, or you look into the Quran, or you look into the ancient teachings of Kemet, it would say we were a nation of many people. If the prophet said that there ain't nobody on the planet Earth he said there's nobody on the planet Earth but Europeans and Asiatics, then the Asiatics make up of a lot of races or a lot of nationalities or a lot of cultures, a lot of creeds. So every Asiatic in the planet Earth could not be a Moor. Not if we made up of tribes and families. That's crazy, son. That can't be. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going to allow an illegal nation to make us use terminologies just so we can get by in this continent, I don't agree with that either, because I'm going to show you something. When we was traveling on plates, and I've shown you my plates before, we was traveling on plates, we didn't have registration, insurance, none of that. All that shit that everybody's talking about, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I tried and strived to do every single legal aspect that you could do in this government, and each time you make a move, one way or another, they go against you. If it got something to do with taxes, or it got something to do with driving, or it got something to do with family court, they still label you the way they label you. And whether you think you what you think you are, in their mind, you still a nigger. All right. Now that's a fucking actual fact. So now we as people are striving to get back our culture, our creed, our real teachings and our real nationality of what we really were. And like in the Bible, it say Jesus said, those sheep that hear my voice will know who I am. Well, that's the same thing that goes on. Let's take that to the saving power. Let's take that to another level. Each individual within their own genetic and DNA makeup know their own nationality and what their indigenous inhabitants were and are and where they're from. They know it. It's inside of you. It's burnt on your hard drive. So all you have to do is seek and go deep within yourself. Like me, I say that we all Asiatics in the wilderness, North America, and the world over. Asiatics is what we really are, because Asia was what the planet was once called. But then you could say, well, another ancient name would be a Nexum. So we could all be a Nexums. At one time, Kemet, because to call yourself an Egyptian is almost like a disrespectful name, almost like calling yourself Indian, which you really, they didn't call themselves Indians, they called themselves whatever the tribal names they were, whatever tribe they were from. Well, I did a degree on that too. And so that's how you should like manifest yourself. You feel me? Let's go into, since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Carta and their document of European American supremacy, and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon the 12 signs of the zodiac and the knowledge from knowledge to born, which is 1 through 9 plus 0. And the 12 signs of the zodiac is just showing and proving the 12 months of the year, which is showing and proving how the earth rotates around the sun, and the sun rotates around the galaxy and travels through those signs. So if they're talking about signs and symbols, it ain't got nothing to do with no spookism, zodiac, oh, you a Pisces, so you're supposed to go with Aquarius or whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual constellations in the sky. You can rename them anything you want. In the nation, we rename them or use the 12 jewels as their names. But it doesn't matter what you call them. You could just call them constellations and point them in the sky and go back to the old Kemet teachings of the old Songhay or Malay or whatever ancient nations you're from, Hebrew, whatever you are. Use those as the terminology. But the bottom line is, get to the part where the realism is coming. You feel me? So supreme numbers. The supreme numbers are from 1 to 9 and 0. Because, yeah, you can put your mathematics to that. But the actual number itself, 1 through 9 and 0, makes infinity. Because you use those numbers to make all other numbers. If you say he had $1 million, well, see how many zeros that is? That's how many zeros and a 1. You feel me? All right, 952,342 million. Whatever the case may be. Right, so lawmakers do not have any jurisdiction over any of the free Asiatics in the inherited land of the United States of America, Canada, Central and South America, etc., etc., etc. The Magna Carta Civil Law Code governs the rights and conduct of the Europeans and the European Americans. It has nothing to do with the original people in the wilderness of North America. We just fall under it because so many of our people bear witness to this devil. You feel me? So what happens is, you're no stronger than your what? Weakest link. So since you're no stronger than your weakest link, if any of the Asiatics, which are the 85s, which are in a greater number than us who have knowledge of ourselves, even though we might bicker and fight amongst each other, we still the ones that have the conscience. We are the leaders of our people, and since it's more of them than there is us, that's how we end up falling under the rules and regulations of this European in America. It's almost like saying you, one individual, aren't going to go and shop at that grocery store. It won't shut that grocery store down. But if every Asiatic in that neighborhood said they're not shopping in no grocery stores that aren't black owned or Asiatic owned, that would have a different effect. That's why when you look at our great leaders, such as Khalid, Father Allah, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, on down. You can go all the way back to Prince Hall if you want. Anytime you had a great leader, if they were such a type of leader that could manifest wisdom in such a degree that it would make Asiatics bear witness to them and start listening to what they had to say in mass numbers, oh, you know what would happen? They would try to kill them, and that's my word is bond to the Father. So now, like I was saying, the free Asiatic nationality and their titles and or family names, such as, but not limited to, Shabazz, Il, Day, Bay, Allah, Ali, Al, etc., etc., etc. It could be any of the other names: Cush, Hittite, Amorite, Moabite, Kemet, Put, whatever, you know, whatever your nationality is, that's your nationality. If you want to put something on the census, put that. Whatever your nationality is. Who are you? You a Commission? Put Kemet on there. You a Hebrew? Put Hebrew on there. You a Moor? Put Moor on there. You a Asiatic? Put Asiatic on there. You feel me? That's how you do it. We'll wreck that shit. But me personally, I wouldn't even fill the damn thing out because it's still a trick. Soon as you, based on Moorish law, Asiatic law, soon as you fill out that application, you have put yourself under their what? Jurisdiction. Now that's my word is